Hello, Tamara Hamilton here, and I am winding down for the day. It has been an interesting day. Life is given life right now, which means there's ups and there's downs. My auntie is in the hospital, so I'm here with my other auntie because she doesn't want to be alone right now. And, life gets a little tricky sometimes and we deal with it as best we can, right? And it just got me to thinking about the whole reason I do what I do is to be able to have the freedom, thank you, to be there with my family when I am needed. Because that wasn't always the case, right? Like with the 6-figure job, with the fancy title, all the benefits, and let me tell you, first of all, it was nothing like what people thought it was. Don't get me wrong, we partied like rock stars. Even sometimes with rock stars and celebrities. But there was a lot that came with it, and you climb the corporate ladder, you think you're going to get all this freedom, right? Well, you don't. They really kind of shackle you even more. The more they pay you, the more they kind of feel like they own you. So an example of that is I worked really hard for my annual bonus, right? I didn't show up to work every day for my base pay in my role. I showed up to work every day to get that big annual bonus, which was more than what most people made in a year, right? And they would always find not only some way to nip at that bonus, and they very rarely gave out the full amount to anyone. They would always find a way to somehow nitpick you and make you feel grateful for what they did decide to bestow upon you. And if that bonus was over a certain amount, what would happen is 10 to 20% of it would be in company stock. And so that sounds great, right? But the company stock has a vesting schedule. And that vesting schedule is a good 2 years for all of it to be completely yours. So what that vesting schedule means is that, say you get $10,000 in company stock, right? Or even say 2,000. Say you got 2,000 in company stock. Now, the benefit of that is the company stock, you perform again even more, and the company stock goes up in value. So that 2,000 could be an unlimited number. It could also go down in value, and either way it went, it was your fault. By the way, because, corporate in America loves to gaslight, right? And the thing is, because it could go down in value, you really kind of wanted to get that company stock back right away, unless, things were on an upswing, right? And so, because that vesting schedule meant that you didn't get access to all of that right away. Now, that also meant it didn't count as income and you didn't get taxed on it right away, which is great. And that was the benefit of, if it went down in value, you got taxed on it at the lower amount when you withdrew it. And you could leave it in there for however long you want to, but you could not withdraw. You could only withdraw half of it after 12 months and the full amount, the second half or the full amount at 2 years, right? So you know what that is, right? That's a trap. That's the way they keep you and retain you, to keep you from going to another company, especially a competitor, because you don't want to lose that company stock. So here, let me make it plain for you. Say you qualified for a $40,000 bonus, right? That $40,000 annual bonus, 40% of it off top is going to prepayment of taxes, okay? 40%. So that's what? Oh God, 16,000. So that leaves you with 24,000, right? And then and I can't remember if it was on that 24,000. I believe it's on the full 40. 10 to 20% of that had to be in company stock. So let's say it's 10%. That's 4,000, right? So literally, you're only walking away with half of your bonus. And I just put the wrong stuff on my face. You're literally walking away with just half of your bonus, right? So that's one of the ways that they tether you, is with that annual stock bonus. And the whole reason I started this conversation is because everybody thinks getting those big cushy jobs, that corporate job, that corporate lifestyle, climbing that ladder, you're going to get freedom. You're going to be free, right? And that's what I started out saying. But there were still times I was denied time off. And there was times I was denied time off to be with family when they needed me. And so that's why I'm super grateful for days like today where I didn't have to ask anybody, right? Over a week and a half ago, Friday, my daughter messages me at like 1, 2 o'clock, like, hey, I bought movie tickets. Let's go to the movie Let's go to the movie theater, because she'd been telling me about this movie she wanted to see at 4. I could have told her no, but the point is I didn't have to choose. I could choose to be with her. She texted me today, and this is a daughter with no children. Your grandkids told me to message you, let's all go to the park. It was really her idea. It really wasn't the grandbabies. It was her idea. But again, last minute, I was able to make a executive and spontaneous decision to spend precious time, not only with my grandbabies, but with my auntie that I'm here helping and being with, so she doesn't have to be alone, okay? And so these are the things we need to think about. That was what was in my devotional this morning, is what would you do with absolute complete freedom? If you woke up today and you were able to just do whatever it is that you want to do, what would you do? Most people, and don't get me wrong, I'm all about self-care, right? Most people go to the spa, do something that they really want to do, right? And it talks about, and I don't even remember the verses, about how instead of doing that, go and serve the mission, go and serve others. And I think it's a healthy combination of the two, right? And so I think that on days when I have a lot going on, right? Like there's a big sale coming up and there's all these things that I could be doing in my business, I'm able to give myself grace. I'm able to show myself grace, and I can remember to serve, right? To serve my family. My kids want to spend time with me. My grandkids want to spend time with me. It was a beautiful day outside in April in the Midwest. It could be below 0 and snowing tomorrow, but we were able to spend that time today. Not only 3 generations, my daughter, the auntie of the grandkids, my only 2 grandkids today, and then my aunt decided to ride down with us because she really doesn't want to be here by herself, so she went with us. And so we are spending time together, and it's multiple generations. My grandkids hung out today with their great auntie and their nana and their auntie, and we created these memories. We created this bond. In out of the 24 hours of a day, it was 3-4 hours at most, and I'm still able to be here, and I'm still able to go live, and I'll still be able to get on Facebook and do the things that I need to do in my business, okay? Because I had a Zoom scheduled for 9 o'clock this morning, and I got that up to an hour back, and I just spent time really in my personal development, that devotional and some other things. And then, I did my self-care too, right? And I had my mastermind, my small group mastermind this afternoon, okay? So, and after that, I get back and I start doing some of my daily activities that I do in my business. And that's when my daughter reached out to me. And so that is the freedom. That is the flexibility. So many times people look at this and they feel like Number one, they're not worthy to be talking to people about an opportunity because they haven't made a gazillion dollars. They haven't done this. They haven't done that. They're not on stage. They, for all these different reasons, they feel they're not worthy. And it's like, you know what? I don't care if you made $1. Number one, you prove that it works. Okay. Number two, you've proved that the average everyday person can make money because the bar is low, right? It only takes making $10 and you're in like the top 10% in the industry. Now, mind you, I make more than that, but the bar is low. It doesn't take a whole lot to be successful because so many people don't go in all on themselves. They don't bet on themselves. They don't use the tools and resources. They let what people who don't have what they want, who aren't where they want to be, who don't have the experience, basically dictate their success and whether or not they can do it or not. Okay. So that's, I'm not judging anybody. We all have a different walk. We all have a different journey, right? Because the business isn't for everybody. The model isn't for everybody, and that is okay, but don't quit on yourself. Don't let other people's opinions keep you from doing what you need to do, because one thing I always say is not one single person growing up said this is what they want to do when they grow up, right? I kind of was doing some of it growing up, especially exactly what I'm doing right now, pretending in the bathroom like I had my own TV show and I was showing. But the concept and the idea of what it is that I do, nobody grew up and said I want to be in direct sales. Nobody grew up and said I want to be in network marketing, right? Nobody grew up and said those things. And so here's the reality though. Here's what I can tell you. I have seen it turn into some pretty amazing opportunities and fund some pretty amazing opportunities, businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses for those who got in, who believed and ran full steam ahead, right? And this whole idea of, but only the 1%. Let me tell you, remember what I said about those bonuses and how they nitpick them? Guess what? Only less than 1% of people going for those annual bonuses ever got the full amount. And none of them ever became millionaires, multimillionaires, and created multimillionaires, because that system is literally rigged against you. Literally rigged against you. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Okay? Every time you win, every time you defy the odds, because they promoted me with the intention of me failing, and I didn't. So they put me to the test again, and I still didn't fail. And they kept putting me to the test, and I didn't fail, and they kept making it harder. I promoted 18 people in 3 years, and they still wouldn't give me what I was due. And so that's when I said it's time for me to go and do it for myself. Okay? So that system is rigged against you. When every time I succeeded, when they set me up to fail, they laid the next trap that much bigger and that much more deadly. And I'm not just saying that to exaggerate or embellish. It's literally true. I was talking to my auntie and her really good friend the other night about how toxic it was and how it was really beginning to impact my health. And it certainly impacted my relationships. My youngest daughter, the one who keeps calling me for these spontaneous appointments, it's because she often was made to feel, when I was in that corporate environment, that she came second to my job. Now, that wasn't my intention, but in all actuality, she kind of had to, because number one, I was her sole provider, and number two, it was that way by design. It was literally that way by design. So I had other things I had planned to talk about today, but I'm all through It feels so good, so soft and amazing. And I actually should have done it after the shower, because after being at the park with the kids, I am ready to hit the shower. I will probably, because I did my face, I'll probably just soak and take a nice bath. I do love this shirt, by the way, from my girl Marina Simone and her team over at Moms in Heels. I'm in the Elite Academy, which will help you with your content. I did it more so for community, and just, I love to be in the energy and the presence of people who are where I am, or better, actually, who are where I want to be, who are doing what it is that I want to do. And that's the whole reason why I shifted my focus in December. Number one, I needed to focus on my health and wellness. So I took the Platinum Pledge. Everybody's talking about the Platinum Pledge. I took the Platinum Pledge in December, and now I'm renewing that Platinum Pledge. It's so funny. My auntie was telling me how her doctor said she needs to walk and be physical for 20 minutes a day to help manage her diabetes. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. So we get to the park. She doesn't get out of the car. We stop, we get food, we get the kids ice cream, root beer floats. We get back to her apartment, and she has the audacity to say, can't tell me I didn't get my steps in today. You did not? In your head, maybe. So that's a joke between us, and we're laughing. Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't think I look too bad for a 49-year-old grandma. I don't think so. And the skin, especially with amazing quality skincare. And then I do the internal skincare. This is step 0, my liquid BioCell. It also helps me keep up with those grandbabies, because this left knee, it really helps with those joints. And I'm really liking the body contouring that is beginning to happen here. Slow and steady wins the race, but I can tell you that scale is the lowest it's been in almost 10 years. And that's from the trim, the burn, and the activate, which I just finished last week. And today I added in the carb blockers, and that is the piece of the puzzle that was missing. So I'm very, very happy to have added that, because I just don't feel so compacted in here anymore. And I probably will still add some fiber and maybe the traditional probiotics. I just don't want to be doing too much. I don't know if there's really such a thing as too much, but what I see happening with my auntie is in the, both of them, is I just want to take care of my body. What was that last product? This is the carb blocker. This is the carb blocker. This is my best friend, because carbs are, everybody's body is different. I remember going back and forth with a personal trainer years ago about low fat products. And I'm like, first of all, I've learned enough to know that when a product is low fat, for example, a low fat salad dressing, all that means is that they replace the fat with sugar, because the flavor is going to come from seasonings, salt, or acid, or sugar. That's where the flavor is going to come from, right? And, everybody has a little bit of a different taste bud. And I knew that low fat meant they were going to replace that with sugar. And I know that sugar and carbs for me are the enemy, especially because I tend to get the cortisol, the leptin resistance, the cortisol, did I say cortisol? And all that stuff, right? That tends to be a problem. So for me, balancing my hormones, is largely about minimizing carbs. Now, it doesn't mean I don't do fruit. Like, I try to do low glycemic fruits, and I love some leafy green vegetables. That's kind of the joke in my family. Yes, Tamara, what does she want to eat? A salad. And it's not for vanity. I really love a good salad. I just do. I love a good salad. Now, I ain't saying my salads are very low calorie either, but it's all balanced, right? Like, my auntie was asking me, what do I want from the store, because she want to keep me fed to keep me here. I'm like, salad mix and cucumbers. Salad mix and cucumbers. That's what it's all about for me. So I love you too, girl. So I am going to go because I am ready to soak and get in the tub. And then I got a few more things I need to do to wrap up the day. But thanks for listening to me ramble. You didn't have to do it. I appreciate it. So I'll holla. Bye.